Well, how you end up getting to the point? Okay, so you pretty much said fuck that. Like you were necessarily just pushing that too hard. You was working your normal job, getting back to just making money and being with your family and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How you end up doing a song with B King? Because you got a song with B King.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know fucking B King.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't put the fucking song out
Mm-hmm.
for reasons, copyright reasons and shit like that.
Yeah.
You gotta,
Yeah.
he not who
he on now.
he on now. He was not the same B King. He was popular. People
Yeah.
knew him. He
Yeah.
was known in Houston.
Yeah.
But B King in 2000, when you dropped that song? 2014.
2014. Yeah, I think that's what.
So yeah, that was 9 years ago.
Yeah, he making bread.
He eating now.
Yeah, he even more now.
Yeah.
Like he rich.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So how you end up getting a song with B King and all that shit? That
All right.
nobody will probably ever hear.
Yeah. So
Except me.
So well, my plan had got fucked up, you know what I'm saying, from moving to Houston. And I got back to Florida, I was really upset about it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, okay, I gotta do what I gotta do. You know? So I'm working and I'm saving money and stuff like that. And you know, me and my wife, we weren't really necessarily seeing eye to eye, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? And so it was just kind of like a lot of turmoil in the house. And she got real bad, and so I ended up losing my job at the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? My car got repoed, and I'm down bad. Like, I'm depressed, I don't got no money, I don't got no car, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like the weight of the whole world is on me, and I'm just trying to figure it out. So when I finally shake that depression shit off, I get me a job. I got me a job at Tropicana. First, I got a job at this distribution center for the store called Bells. It's like a clothing store and shit, department store or something. So I got a job there first, like some temp shit. And I worked there for like 2 weeks, and then Tropicana called me, which was the better job. I think it paid like $13.50 an hour, something like that, or 17. And so, I stopped Bells and I went to Tropicana, and I was like, okay. Once I started seeing how my checks was looking, because you working a lot of hours there. You know, you could work an 8-hour shift, and then you about to get off, and them motherfuckers saying you got to stay over 4 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Have to.
You have to. You know what I'm saying? So I was making bread. I was making like $1,400, $1,700 every 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, you know, this pretty good money. It's a step up from what I was doing. So I saved up my bread, and I'm just like, I had a plan. I had the concept came my song for the song that B King was on. So that hook came in my head. It was like, first I said, it's a bunch of bad women in the building. And niggas put their hands up to the ceiling. So I called you and I told you, and you was just like, yeah, that's cool. But you gotta say bitches.
Women,
It's like, ain't nobody gonna dance in the club to that. You can't be being respectful.
Kids bypass.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. The crazy thing is though, when I wrote that hook, I wasn't even thinking I'm gonna do it. I'm like, man, if Rico Love do this whole gonna go live. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. So I end up reaching out to Mr. Rogers again, cause I got bread. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this is my plan. I'm gonna get Mr. Rogers to produce it. I'm gonna get B King to feature on that hoe. It's a wrap. I'm good.
Rich. I'm back rich
Yeah,
again.
I'm in the game. This has to work, but I got my eye on being a star, not having my eye on learning the business of music and how it actually works. So what happened? So I shoot the concept to Mr. Rogers, and he's like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a custom beat for this. He's like, okay. And he was like, you know, at the time that Bay Area music was really popping. He's like, that Cali sound, that's what's popping right now. He's like, you probably want to do something like that. So he made like a little Cali beat or whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna get B King on. He's like, okay. He was like, shoot, whenever you start recording or whatever, shoot me what you got. I just want to see how it's going or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I paid B King manager for the feature, and I had got a beat too for another song or whatever. So I paid them the money for that, and I'm just like, okay, I'm coming to Houston. So I called a Greyhound. I'm trying to be frugal, you know what I'm saying? I called a Greyhound. I'm like, okay, because I think we broke for Christmas or something like that from work. We shut down for a couple of weeks, then we come back to work. So I get out there, and I meet with his manager, chop it up or whatever. What I wanted to do was get in the studio with B King and record with B King, but he didn't have the time to do it or whatever. She was like, nah, he ain't gonna be able to do it, so I had to find another studio. So I found a studio, I record my part, and then I send it to them. And then he lay his part down or whatever. And it took me a little minute to get it back, end up getting it back, and I'm excited, cause I'm poor, and I was like, this gonna give me a chance to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So then I got the record, I sent it to Mr. Rogers, and he listened to it. He was like, let me mix it. You know, he wanted to get the stems and stuff from the engineer. He wanted to mix it. He didn't like the way it sounded. So I was like, okay. So I sent him the stuff, and I think a week went by, and I had got Uncle Dury to help pay a promoter to promote the song, right? And so the promoter was like, hey, you heard from Rogers? And I was just like, no, not yet. He said he gonna get with me. He's just been busy. He's like, man, you gotta stay on. So I'm like, okay. So I'm being annoying as fuck. Cause Mr. Rogers, by this time, he gave me his phone number. Mm. He gave me his phone number because he's like, I don't
personal.
We personal.
Fuck that up, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he I think at this time,
how often was you hitting him up?
Probably about as often as the promoter was asking me what's up, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because he had already started kind of like getting DJs to play the song in like little strip clubs and shit or whatever. But he's like, if Roger's gonna have another version of it, we need to get that ASAP. Because we don't already pay this nigga.
Did you tell Mr. Rogers that, like when you did get a hold of him, that it was really less about you and more about the promoter wanting to get the final version?
I think I did tell him that, but he's not. He got so much stuff going on. I don't think he really cared, because he's just like, I'm gonna do it when I do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So Drake had some weekend bash thing shit going on out here, and the whole city shut down for this shit. It was parties left and right, and Mr. Rogers was involved in that. And that weekend, I hit him up, and I was like, hey bro, you know you gonna be able to, get the mix back or whatever? And he was like, oh yeah man, he's like, I'm gonna get to it, man, but Drake is in town for the weekend, you know what I'm saying? So I got events and stuff that I'm doing, right? And so it's back on that J. Cole shit, but this time it's Drake, and I love Drake, love Cole too, you know what I'm saying? But when he told me that, I'm like, that nigga Drake already eating.
For an event though, nigga. Like,
yeah, I know.
He should just
and I know
fuck Drake. Well, he working on his career. Yeah, he working on his career too.
I did,
Mr. Rogers.
I understood it, but I was down so bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm like at desperation point, because it's like.
Did you lash out on him?
No.
Okay.
I didn't lash out. I didn't do that. I didn't disrespect. You know what I'm saying? But I was being annoying. So I think I hit him one more time after that. I think it was like after the Drake weekend or whatever. And I'm like, I asked him about it again. He was like, just do what you got, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just run it with what you have. I think he was just kind of like nigga, you rushing me.
So he never mixed it?
Mm-mm.
Did you pay him at that point? Did you need to pay him? Did he expect money, or he was just doing it off the muscle?
He was doing it off the muscle
And yo,
because he produced it and B King was on it. I'm listening to the promoter because this B King's promoter, mind you.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like, you gotta stay on Rogers, bro. You gotta bug him. You know, and I've heard Mr. Rogers, he actually had an artist that he doing his own independent thing now that, you know, I think he did some mixtapes with him, and he was saying that about him too. He was like, man, he was bugging me, man, like he was annoying. So I'm just like, I gotta do it. He did it, you know, and the promoter was telling me, he's like, you gotta stay on him, you know.
It was he probably was doing the right thing.
It was just bad timing.
Yeah, the timing was just like,
it was bad timing.
I felt that day.
And he don't know my circumstances.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He probably think I'm being impatient, you know, not knowing like, he don't got no. He put all his eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? And he don't know the industry, how to work it. You know, he not thinking that. He just think I'm being an asshole or something. So he was just like, bro, just run it what you got. And I'm just like, damn, fuck. But now the damage is done. Ain't nothing I can do. You know what I mean? So nothing came from that. You know what I'm saying? I did meet him again a couple of more times. You know what I'm saying? I apologized to him. I was like, man, you know, I wasn't really trying to rush you, man. I'm just, you know, my bad. And he was like, oh, you good, whatever. You know, I even met him one time and I brought him some cookies one time.
I remember that.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. It's just, when you get into this music game, bro, or any industry, you got to make yourself as knowledgeable as you can about the inner workings of said industry. Because when you start dealing with people who are actually in the thick of it, you know, they got shit going on. They doing stuff, you know, and they might not do it when you want them to do it, but they gonna get to it. But you just got to do your whatever you're doing anyway. Like what I was supposed to be doing was recording more music.
Other avenues.
Yeah, I was supposed to be recording more music. I should have been trying to do showcases or, you know, whatever, shoot music videos, something.
Let it come back to him full circle.
Yeah, let him be like, oh yeah, hey,
yeah, I gotta get on that.
Yeah.
I heard that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta get on that.
Yeah.
I seen this nigga
Yeah.
doing something.
Yeah.
He out and about too at night.
Yeah,
Working.
Yeah.
And you out and about
Yeah.
doing whatever the fuck you doing. He's supposed to see you out. You're like,
Yeah.
I owe this nigga one. I
Yeah.
said I was gonna do something to get to that.
But I didn't know, you know, and when you like in a certain space, like if you down bad and like you desperate, you should never act out of desperation, because that's gonna make you make bad judges of character. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do because you desperate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta leave an emotion at the door.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, that was a learning lesson, you know what I mean? But, you know, it was an experience, and now I know better. Like, okay, don't get so hyped up about what it could be. You got to go through the entire process to see it through, because it's not going to be what you think. Because being an artist, it's a job, and you got to work that bitch. And if you don't work it, it ain't going to pop. It ain't just about the music, nigga. It's about everything else after that. The music, the easy part. So, yeah, I am. How many years later? 11, about to be
12 years later, damn dear, man, from the beginning.
Yeah.
And you ain't dropped nothing since, nigga.
I did. I dropped some more music after that. I actually dropped a single called
No More. Yeah.
No More. I actually got it put on like Spotify and all that, Apple Music and everything like that. And it was received well, but again, trying to rush the process.
Yeah, rushing the process. What I noticed is just end up slowing you down even more. You know what I'm saying? Because you hit these fucking speed bumps so fucking hard, and it's so discouraging that you just stop instead of enjoying the fucking whole process. And whatever the fuck you do, it ain't gotta be fucking music.
Yeah.
It's whatever, nigga. The gym.
Yeah.
bitches.
If you want to see results, you gotta do the work.
You gotta do.
You ain't no shortcuts to nothing.
Nope.
If you take a shortcut and it end up working for you, it's not gonna be long standing. You know what I mean? So that's why since then I'm like, okay, let me figure out everything there is to know as far as like the business of music. And some people gave me some game, like Bruce Bang gave me some game. He's like, hey, when I recorded No More, he was like, you know, make sure you set up, you know, your BMI, your ASCAP, you know what I mean, to get like your royalties and your publishing money, like SoundScan, all that. He's like, get you a business account and get you a DBA and so you can have your own music publishing company. You know what I'm saying? I did all that shit. I got all that shit. You know what I'm saying? He put me on game with that. He put me in the game with like video editors and you know even people who do like animated shit. You know, different producers, other engineers. You know, I'm locked in with people. It's just kind of like you gotta have your ducks in a row as far as like what your plan is, because you gotta have a plan of attack with music. It ain't just about like, oh, my music dope, listen to it. No, nigga, you gotta know marketing and fucking, you gotta get out here and people gotta see you working. They gotta have something to respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's all.
Well, guess what ended up? Journey, your music journey. I mean, you still cooking.
Yeah, I'm still
cooking, still making music.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm still doing both. But I'm looking to do it more and be impactful with it. Like my cooking, I want to be a content creator, and you know I want to teach people more so than like, you know, cooking for people to feed them. You know what I mean? Like maybe later on down the line, I would like to have like a place or something like that. People come sit down and enjoy a meal. You know what I'm saying? But for now, I just want to do content and like hopefully release some e-cookbooks and stuff like that, so people can take some of my style of cooking and do it at home. You know what I mean? For their family and friends. You know what I'm saying? And the music, I want to take the more approach of like production and songwriting. And if that turns into me, you know, dropping my own music and stuff like that, that'd be cool. But I really would like to create for other artists. You know, that's a goal for me. Cause I'm an old nigga now.
Shit. We all got old.
I ain't gave up no motherfucking hope.
All right.